Hello everyone. Supporting Children with Special Needs is a professional development workshop designed to create awareness and train elementary school staff and faculty members on how to best support children with special needs through accommodations, interventions, and following their individualized learning plans with fidelity. The overall goal with the learning environment is to design an effective and safe environment for the staff and faculty members at the Meridian School. Due to the amount of information and limited professional development time, this workshop will be a flipped classroom design, so learners will be completing the online portion of the course before attending the formal professional development workshop in person. The first part of this workshop will be designed using Articulate Rise. It will be non-formal, asynchronous, and meant for individual learning. This portion will also be virtual, closed, and high stakes, since this is mandatory for all staff and faculty members. Regardless of prior knowledge, this workshop will be the same for every learner, making this workshop non-adaptive. The second part of this workshop will also be closed, non-adaptive, and high stakes, but it will be in person, formal, and synchronous. This portion of the workshop will be designed for staff and faculty members to collaborate and have meaningful discussions in smaller groups. The workshop will take place in a large conference room that is equipped with a projection screen that will be used for any multimedia presentations. Having the second portion be in a physical learning environment will give learners an opportunity to interact with peers and discuss any questions that came up during the asynchronous portion of the workshop. Learners will consist of 50 staff and faculty members ranging from young adulthood to middle adulthood. The attended learners all hold bachelor degrees, but not necessarily in education. All lead teachers have teaching credentials, but in general education. There is one teacher who has credentials in both general and special education. She will also be one of the lead instructors during the workshop. Our associate teachers, specialists, and administrative team will vary from intermediate to low level of prior knowledge on this subject matter. Many of our associate teachers have experience working in classrooms, but come from various academic backgrounds, and none of them hold teaching credentials. So prior knowledge will be a key factor in the design of this course. Since this course is mandatory for all staff members, learners who are intrinsically or extrinsically motivated will vary. Learners who work with children with special needs, such as teachers, associate teachers, and specialists, will be more intrinsically motivated to learn during this course, while learners such as administrators might not be as intrinsically motivated. Learners who don't work with children on a daily basis would be more extrinsically motivated since they are obligated to attend. This will also affect learners' value and self-efficacy. Due to the fact that staff and faculty members come from various levels of prior knowledge, experience, and backgrounds, it's beneficial to design this part online. The first portion will be more supplantive, so all instruction and activities will be highly scaffolded. During the virtual portion of this workshop, learners will learn basic facts about disability, disability rights, and other declarative and procedural knowledge around disabilities that's essential for this discussion and collaborative portion of the workshop later on. Learners will have access to worked examples of ILPs and step-by-step tutorials of the ILP process. There will be recorded pre-session videos, quizzes, and discussion forums to post their questions for the second part of the workshop. All multimedia presentations will follow Mayer's multimedia principles to manage learners' cognitive load. The second part of the workshop will be in-person, collaborative, and synchronous. This portion of the workshop will be designed for faculty and staff members to collaborate and have meaningful discussions in smaller groups. Instruction will be more generative than supplantive, so learning tasks will not be as scaffolded. Instructors will be there for guidance, which gives learners the opportunity of receiving immediate feedback. In small groups, learners will go through the ILP process with an actual student sample while still having worked examples and the step-by-step tutorial available as reference. Due to the various levels of prior knowledge, it is important to manage learners' cognitive load, especially the learners who had lower levels of prior knowledge. This is why the decision was made to use a flipped classroom design. Having most of the declarative and procedural knowledge content online gave learners a chance to learn at their own pace. All multimedia presentations use Mayer's signaling, segmenting, and redundancy principles. In order to fulfill the communication needs and need for social support, the synchronous portion gives learners a chance for immediate feedback during learning activities. Since learners will be applying these new strategies in the classroom, it's important that they receive this feedback for reflection and improvement. This design will be contributing to learning because the portion that contains the heaviest content load will be self-directed, giving learners a chance to manage their learning at their own pace. Learners will also be given actual ILP student samples while drafting an ILP. This design includes both individual and collaborative learning, so learners are able to process and reflect on the information before collaborating with their peers. The workshop on supporting children with special needs connects to USC Rossier School of Education's 4 pillars: leadership, learning, accountability, and diversity. By taking accountability of our growing number of students with special needs, this workshop was designed to benefit both staff and faculty members and students with special needs. This workshop will lead to more equitable educational outcomes for all learners through teachers gaining more knowledge about special needs and the accommodations, interventions, and other support needed to create an effective, inclusive classroom. The head of school, assistant head of school, and customized learning team will review assessment and evaluation data to determine what steps need to be taken to maximize the implementation and ongoing fidelity of the learning environment. Stakeholders will have an opportunity to provide feedback for improvement during evaluation meetings at the end of every semester. This will also provide some guidance for the leadership team on what can be improved or added for the following school year. The design of this flipped learning environment promotes learning through evidence-based theories and human-centered design. Since learners can benefit from collaboration and communication, it was imperative to design a synchronous portion to the workshop. This way, learners can receive the support they need from their peers and the leadership team. Since this is a sensitive topic, it is important to create a safe space to collaborate. The overall learning goal is for staff and faculty members to strengthen their awareness, knowledge, skills, and effective strategies to support students with disabilities and comply with the ILPs. To measure the success of the learning environment, assessments such as surveys with Likert scale items and open-ended questions will be given. Observations and meetings will be held at the end of each semester to measure whether revisions in the design is needed to further improve the workshop. Since our teachers come from a general education background, this workshop is designed to educate our general education teachers in the hopes of removing barriers and overcoming limitations for students with special needs. The Meridian School places an emphasis on inclusion, and whether it's race, ethnicity, SCS, or special needs, this design will support the goal of inclusivity at the school. Thank you for listening, Trojans. Fight on!